as though you did the right thing?
Hindsight, no, but we tried to do it. I think that's what's most important.
You see them both look back towards the Grand Watcher as he motions to the rest of the participants. You see Lord Telemon speak up almost immediately. But yet when action called upon you, you took it. And you succeeded.
We did.
Your mission was a success, correct?
It's hard to call it a success, but we did manage to take down the mother, and then the ensuing chaos also take down the darkened one that did release them.
And neither of them are a threat anymore.
Now at least, yeah.
So despite the casualties, it can be said a necessary sacrifice was made in order to protect everyone.
If the sacrifices weren't made, it would have been a lot worse if the other undead was, let loose on the world. Or even so, the mother was also wreaking havoc on the town for generations. It's inhumane. I think we tried our best.
You see the cardinals speak up, but what of all the souls that were lost? Do you think they would say the trade was worth it?
That is one of the regrets that I always carry. I wish I didn't have to. If I could have, I wouldn't have sacrificed them at all.
You see him nod. The Grand Watcher looks towards Maven. Very good. Lucian, you're done. You may take your place. Khan is called up. Khan is going to tell the story as he saw it. Not really going to add anything more than what Lucian said. Not really going to subtract from it. As far as if Riker made the right decision, he doesn't know. He doesn't know if you made the right decision. Doesn't know if Riker made the right decision. All he knows is the decision was made. And now we get to have fancy trials.
The little flavor of con at the end.
Logan, what brought up, you see the Sister of Light say, "You're rather old for a recruit, are you not?" "That I am, ma'am. But desire for justice does not age out of you."
That's a good line.
When asked, Logan says similar thing to Khan, what he saw, but he definitely thinks Riker made the right choice. And he does share information he found. After it was all over, I went and checked the grave Rosemary talked about of her sister. There were clear indications of stab marks along the rib cage from a blade. One similar to what Rosemary was carrying. If we would have seen it sooner, perhaps Perhaps we could have done things different. You see, he just hangs his head at that, but nothing further. Martin goes up and gives his testimony likewise as well, except in a different manner. When asked about what Riker did, you see him very, pop his chest out, pin his shoulders back. Riker's a hero. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. We'd all be dead if it wasn't for him. So many people would be dead in this continent if it wasn't for him. That's the truth. You can look at it however you want, but that's the truth. We all know it. You see him sort of shaking as he points towards the Grand Watcher. Where you was sitting back, he was out there slaying monsters. We don't get to judge him. After that, Martin's testimony is done. All of yours.
Before he steps up, he will definitely put his hand on Martin's shoulder and give it a reassuring squeeze before he will walk on up.
Same thing as before, do you swear?
I so swear.
So as you give your account, what story do you tell?
Sorry.
You can give as much or as little, but just how do you make it different? How do you make it?
He does not embellish at all. He gives a very accurate account as best he can. He will add on that at the beginning of the mission, I was given joint command of the team alongside my comrade Briggy. He will gesture over to the dwarf. It was I who pushed to attempt to aid the town of Fairfax. Briggy wanted to push to the summit, as was our mission. When the time came to decide on how we would handle Fairfax, when Rosemary? Yeah. When Rosemary gave a plan, I was the one to amend it, but ultimately, I was the one that pushed to kill and slay the Darkened One known as...
The chained
lady.
one?
No, to kill
Oh,
the
the lady.
Lady of Rebirth. I believe it was her death that freed the Chained One. Seeing no other option, Captain Riker stepped in. I do not believe it was, in his mind, a selfless act or sacrifice. Captain Riker strikes me as a pragmatic man who knows his limits. I do not think he would have stepped in if he thought that it meant dying or falling to the Chained One. But I do know that his actions, his victory, I know they've saved our efforts in this part of the world. Because without him, myself and all of us students would have ended up like... He will glance over at Maven. Like Leona Van Damien, fighting to our last breath, but dying all the same.
You
Then he will-
see his eyes heavily close. As no insight needed. That definitely weighs heavy on him still.
Mm-hmm. And then he'll move his eyes between the three Black Watch members in the circle, resting them finally on the Grand Watcher. If we died, well, who would take up the call after all the Black Watch in this part of the world die, as is our charge.
Ooh, I was wondering if someone's going to make that argument. You see the man in the black, gold, and white sort of look over to you. So you believe what you've done is just, is good, is right.
What we have done?
Mm-hmm.
He seems to seriously consider that for a moment.
If we did not try to help Fairfax, then the Lady of Rebirth would have subjugated them for who knows how long. Indeed, given the feats she was able to perform, the people that were in that town, I would wager, are not even the same people as the original inhabitants. I think if we pushed to the summit, we would have been neglecting our duty, but the town would have been better off.
And you believe Captain Riker did not push past his limits?
He stares at Riker for a good few seconds before he says,
I think he did. But I think he weighed the risk and found it necessary. Not for our own well-being, but for the sake of the oaths that we all swore. I will always place the watch first, my equipment second, and myself last.
You see the watch member in blue sort of perk up at that, and you believe risking a captain to save a bunch of recruits puts the watch first?
We are the next generation. Given enough effort, every one of us can be on par with Captain Riker one day. But we won't know this if we all die on the mountain, fruitlessly trying to save a village. I made the bad call. My comrades, they followed that bad call. And Riker made up for that bad call. And in the end, we were successful. We descended into the depths of the mountain. We slew Rosemary. And now whatever creature lies beneath the mountain is asleep once again.
and he'll look over at this gentleman is the
Cardinal, yeah.
the cardinal. I almost called him the pope.
And all the souls that resided within Fairfax have been put to rest after being rebirthed who knows how many times. After being subjugated by the lady for who knows how long.
You see, he does a slight nod at that as you say that, and the two Watchers look towards the Grand Watcher, who does a similar motion and opens the floor. And you see as Lord Telemon is about to speak, the Sister of Light speaks up. If you had never acted, what would be the end result?
Fairfax would no doubt continue on the way it had been. Rosemary and Channing would have no doubt been rebirthed, subjugated. They would have fallen in line with the rest of their unfortunate townsfolk. We would have lit a brazier.
And that's
He
it.
looks back to the Grand Watcher and then to you. And you think you're the first ones to discover that she was there?
We saw no evidence to the contrary.
So the absence of evidence is the evidence of absence.
He nods, and but he'll add on. As I remember this, and Halbjorn remembers this by default, by extension.
The way Channeling worded it and Rosemary worded it. This had not been going on for a terribly long time, and I do not know when last one of our own set foot on that mountain. I do believe we were the first people to know of Fairfax's situation.
You see the elven lady sort of rearrange her glasses. Should you have failed, hypothetically, do you believe that would have put a greater risk to Almira?
I believe that depends on which part we failed in, ma'am. If we failed to kill the Lady of Rebirth, then no. Because the Jade One would not have awakened. If we failed to stop Rosemary, as none of us know what her intentions were, I cannot say for certain.
She nods and she writes down and she just like looks up. She takes her like little quill and looks up and then finds something on her paper. Should you have all been subjugated underneath the darkness and been corrupted, would their redoubled forces been a potential threat to Almira? And she just looks at you over her glasses in that way a teacher does when they know you like didn't do your homework.
I do not think so. We are all very capable, but your walls are high, your guards are numerous. As for the rest of the non-Blackwatch forces, they are townsfolk. I punched one in the leg. He limped away.
If you had a chance to do it again, would you have ensured the threat was neutralized or let it grow and fester?
Is that Telemon?
Mm-hmm.
That's such rigged wording.
That's the point.
We are the Blackwatch. We do not let these things fester.
I am inclined to agree. With that, they all look back to the Grand Watcher, who looks to Maven, and you are dismissed.
Yippee!
Bradford, if you like get the call, you see Erica has been like sleeping on your shoulder.
Ah, no, he has to wake her up now. I don't have like coffee. Could you just like lightly just like shake her to wake her up?
She like wakes up, 5 more minutes. And like goes to lean over on Carolyn, who like stiff arms her back over.
Almost ribs.
Plain as food. As I'm about to head up there, can I give her like this thing? It's not exactly. It relates to exhaustion, so I don't know if that would like help her wake up. But there could be like caffeine in it, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I get that. Yep. I like it.
Yeah, you see the logic. He's gonna go over there. I can't remember this like big area here. Like there's like more intense light there, correct?
The water does appear to have some sort of glow.
Okay. Never mind what I was thinking of. Get rid of exhaustion. Yeah, no, it's fucking dope. Yeah, he goes up there. Well,
Do you also swear on all the lights above?
Through mildly gritted teeth, yes.
It is noted.
I mentioned it because I figured everyone would note it.
Okay. Yep, give your story.
He gives the general account, but because Crash gave me this idea last week. Because I wasn't here, he probably give a bit less detailed, as in like there was a lot going on and it just kind of became a blur and more instinct at times. I don't have anything like terribly specific about it, but I did have like one. If they ask like do you think Riker was like right in his decision or something, he has like something for that.
Okay, well, yeah, what I'm asking is, do you add anything onto the story to sort of make your case? Or do you just tell it as it is and wait for questioning?
Yeah, he just tells it as it is, honestly. He doesn't have much to add.
Okay. Very good. So, let me see. Similar to above, the person in blue will look over to you. Do you think that it is a moral good to disobey orders?
That's...
Do you say anything?
He contemplates on it because Garth is fucking tired. He's trying to think of an answer.
Okay. Oh, I asked this. Does Bradford also?
Yeah, he does think for...
Gotcha.
He thinks long enough that they probably catch that he's thinking about it. I think in this situation there's potential for arguments.
The other one pipes up. And what do you think that would be? Why have rules if we can just supersede them whenever we so desire?
If the rules in place would lead to the fall of the city, I doubt there would be few people that would disobey those rules. It's a similar thought process there.
You see, and as they're kind of bouncing back between each other, the person in blue says, so it's the rules that are at fault, not the captain.
That's... yeah, right. It's just situational. It depends on who. He just has a fucking answer. I don't know.
Yeah, that means Riker's done the same.
Sure.
They look back to the Grand Watcher. He opens the question up. Telemon immediately jumps in. Do you believe in the time you have known, Captain Riker, that he has always went above and beyond to ensure that everything can be done, will be done for the Watch?
Sorry, words had to click in my head. Pretty much without hesitation, Bradford just says yes.
Do you believe in this situation that the risk outweighed the reward?
I do. As well as I believe that's... Riker... He's not a kind man, but he is very knowledgeable in his job and duty, and very diligent. I do not believe that he would take an action that he did not know what the consequences were.
You see the Cardinal pick up. So you believe that he was willing to be here if it meant taking the actions he did?
I think he would understand the risk of being here, correct?
They have no further questions.
Thank God Bradford's gonna go chill on the wall.
You see like Erica dozing off and she like gets nudged. Okay. I swear on the lights about the thing.
Bradford kind of covers
They
his
just-
face for a second.
This one walks over there, just slaps her upside the head.
Yo, she got caught. She got
You
skull by
learn to respect.
She then like sort of wakes up with a nice red mark on her face and says it properly, and gives, without a doubt, the most generic accounting of actions. But does note that how her experiments were about 30% more effective than she expected them. There are no questions that follow. You do hear the Cardinal say, "May the light have mercy on us." As Carolyn gets up, you do see Erica like walk by. Am I dismissed? Can I go? Just sits over here and pouts when she's not dismissed.
when you finish the test early, but you're still not allowed to leave early.
Just pat her on the
Carolyn-
shoulder. It's like, it's okay.
Gives her account as best she can. Does not make any notes of the dispute about planning and direction, and notes that she followed the orders of the two leaders in charge of her. And then when Captain Riker gave her an order, she followed that as well. The only thing of note that really comes up in her testimony is at the end, when asked if she believes it was the right thing to do. Given the fact that upon our egress from the mountain, I noticed a large creature flying overhead that matched the description of one my compatriots said they saw previously. I'm inclined to believe that taking action prevented any other resources from being conglomerated. For those of you, she describes the large winged horse creature.
Aha!
Ah,
Right,
shit.
we all forgot about.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't remember that. I
She's
don't
the only
know.
one
Yeah.
who saw it.
Oh.
Just what?
She's the only one who saw it on your way off the mountain.
God
Good
fucking
job.
damn it.
Oh, so that's why we don't remember. We just outright didn't.
Correct.
See it.
Yep. Nope,
Okay.
not a fault of you. Just something she saw you did.
Did Bradford? Because I just kind of brushed over with like the recap. Did Bradford end up mentioning like how he sensed the thing, and how when we were leaving he didn't sense that he was being watched by it anymore? Could he have mentioned?
I think you could have. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, I just remembered it now.
Alright, Gregory, you're up. Do you swear?
I swear by the lights above.
Okay. Tell your story.
He would basically do similar to what Alec and Carolyn did, where they would just give like a non-embellished recounting of what happened, and that Gregor was following the orders of the two joint team leaders, and then Riker when he gave orders. He would mention that he was the first one to catch on to the fact that Rosemary was darkened, and that he was ready to act on that and was like calling that out to the team leaders, like, we shouldn't trust her. Can I do something about that? But but a different course of action was taken. And he would talk about how he thinks that Riker has always done his best with the best in mind for everyone, and he is not been flawed in his training that he's put them through.
As you finish your testimony, you hear the watchman in blue speak up. You are a child of Frauden, correct? Wolf-born even.
No.
Perhaps the first of a generation.
I do not know.
When you found this information out, why did you choose not to act on it?